Welcome to another vlog 172. If you watched another vlog 171, did I do that right? You saw the adventure it took to bring this home, to go find it, collect it, make it roadworthy, and get it parked here. If you watched the deleted scene video that came after, actually I'm gonna upload that right after I'm done filming this clip, you'll have seen some of the work that needs to be done. It needs a lot of work. Well, today we are going to start that work. First things first, I think it needs a bit of a wash. It's pretty grimy, sitting out in a field for years and years and years. We're also going to try to wash off. We got a bunch of this membrane, this rollable membrane. Actually, it looks like they mopped it on, if I'm honest. But anyway, we are going to try to remove all that because it is not doing what it's designed to do. Probably because it's been baked in the sun, it's all cracked up. But you can see they placed it over the seams here around the vent. But that's not really doing anything. If we jump through the roof here, let's see. I got a brace here and a brace here. I could probably jump through right here. I'm gonna do it with movie magic, but the people's elbow.
The most electrifying move in all of entertainment.
All right, so if you look, we got water damage. So obviously we have leakage through those seams. We're gonna need to reseal that. And to do so, I think we're gonna have to wash it off. Wash it off, spray it off. So I got my hose here and let's see if it works.
Don't do that.
I probably shouldn't have done that. Plus, it needs to be on jet, I think. I think that would be the most helpful for the scenario. Let's see here. Yeah, jet I think works good, or maybe if I fan it out to the fan one, is it this one? I think that might work better. Yeah, that might be good. All right. Obviously a garden hose wouldn't work. We borrowed Ashley's dad's pressure washer and hopefully it does the trick. All right, while she's spraying the outside there, hopefully it comes clean. I think I'm gonna start demoing what we need to demo, which is practically everything. Obviously we got damage here on the roof. So we'll see how much repair is needed, which is probably everything. But also we have all of this in here that we want to get rid of. We don't want to keep these cabinets. Those will probably come out quite easy. We're going to do something different, I think, with the inside layout.
We're gonna build a life together, you and I, forever and ever. And we'll make memories on a beach under the stardust. And I hear your voice come through the door 1,000 times or maybe more, and smile smile inside to know you're mine completely. Do you know how lovely you are in the starlight, in the starlight of my heart? Do you know how lovely you are in the moonlight, in the moonlight of my heart? We're gonna build a home together, you and I, forever and ever, and we'll make memories on the beach under the stardust. And I hear your voice come through the door 1,000 times and maybe more, and smile inside to know you're mine completely. I wind up every day thinking about the way you make me feel when your lips touch my lips. Crawl inside a cave or live somewhere strange. As long as I'm with you, I got what I need. We're gonna build a life together, you and I, forever and ever, and we'll make memories on a beach under the stardust. And I hear your voice come through the door 1,000 times and maybe more, and smile inside to know you're mine completely, mine completely, mine completely, mine.
There's like 10 of these curtain things in here too. This one even has butterfly wings in there. They're obviously for a different RV type style or a trailer style, newer than this, but they were in here.
They're beautiful.
They're beautiful. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. Either for an RV or a trailer, probably from the 90s, I would say.
Yeah, I was gonna say 80s or 90s.
80s or 90s, yeah. Actually, this and this are probably from two different ones.
You think?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe not.
This is different than that.
Yeah. So I bet you, this is
That's probably why there's so many.
from a third one, yeah. Plus, oh yeah, and the one that you threw in the truck.
I threw like 4 in the truck already.
Yeah, okay. From two different, whatever. But we're almost full, but it's a good thing that we're almost done. You're probably also wondering about these curtains. In the last video, a lot of people were saying that they were hoping that we would keep these. Well, we don't like them, but even if we did, they're very weak. The sun has had their way with them, so they're not worth saving. And the curtain rods here, they're imitation brass, and the little loop things, these are all plastic, so they're not really worth anything. The end caps here are plastic too, so yeah, just kind of junk. These probably weren't original, although they may have been. So those are trash. Okay. Woo! We got a lot of stuff done, and we found out a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Oops. Okay. First thing that we found out, we got some rot, but I think it's rot extenuated by ants. This is an ant nest. Remember those ants that kept biting me when we were hooking this up? Well, there's hundreds, probably thousands of them in here. And yes, they've been biting me this whole time. But now that I've swept it up, did a general sweep, I probably won't get as many bites. There's tons in there. Tons in there. Probably will be able to get rid of those just by cleaning everything up. Another thing that we found out, as is common with campers, corners rot away quicker than anything else. This corner is almost completely gone. This one over here is still pretty good. This corner over here is not doing well. And this corner over here is doing good. Which brings us to the other thing that we found out. We know what's in the booty. Remember, it's locked out there. But since we took this wall out, bam! We got an extension cord and a hose and a couple of wasp nests. Luckily, those were empty. Luckily, I didn't get stung. It's just a lot of ant bites so far. Another thing that we found out is this stove can't fit outside the door here. It's just too big. Are you kidding me? However, the fridge did come out, except for it's not a fridge. It is just an ice box. You can see there's no condenser or anything with it. That came out no problem. It was just narrow enough to fit through the door. Ah! What the heck did I step on? Did I step on a nail? Oh yeah, I did. What the heck? Don't mind my dirty soul. Look at that nail. I'm gonna have to pull that out. I stepped right perfectly for that to go right into my foot. A lot of hazards on the floor when you're demoing, obviously, especially if you're not wearing the proper work attire. But speaking of hazards on the floor, also, as I suspected if you watched the previous video, we got some rot here on the floor. This bottom plate is basically mulch along with this stud, so we're gonna have to replace that, and probably, hard to say until we pull this up, but probably a section of the floor as well. I'm not too worried about it, but we're not going to do that just yet. Everything that's left in here, insulation, floor, and I think that's about it. I guess we'll pull out all the electric too, but basically the big stuff here is all asbestos, probably asbestos. So we're going to demo this separately, but it works out because we actually, let me take this off. We're actually going to Ashley's birthday dinner at her parents'. Now, some of you may have already guessed this, maybe had it in your mind. If you're a longtime viewer, you might know that Ashley's birthday is in August. You might know by the music I used in previous birthday present vlogs, whatever you want to call them, that this is Ashley's birthday gift this year. That isn't how this started out. We actually need a camper for something else, so we're going to use it for that, but Ashley really likes this camper. We have been looking for a long time. The one that we were going to get was perfectly good for us to use once and then resell, but since that fell through, thanks Francis, Since the Pope held us up, we missed it by just a few minutes, but I'm kind of glad. Actually, I went there with Rob, my neighbor. See, now they're gunning it. We need more people. Because he knows more about trailers and stuff, and he was gonna help me look it over and whatnot. But he's like, you know what? It's not meant to be. And I'm so glad the Pope came to visit, even though I don't think his visit actually does anything. But if he didn't, we wouldn't have found this, and Ashley wouldn't have fallen in love with it, and we wouldn't be doing this project. Since she likes it, I was like, you know what? Happy birthday, this is gonna be yours. I'm glad that you like it. Let's do it the way you want to do it. But for now, I think we're running low on time, so I'm going to pull the nail out of my shoe, and then we're gonna head out to the in-laws. Whoa, what the heck? I don't know if I got that because I wasn't looking in the camera. Nice. Joel with the limes. Ashley with the lemons. Goes right between the bars. Second shot for the limes. Right between the bars. Ashley with the lemons. I'm really screwing them up here. Oh, there you go. Oh, and you cancel him out with the single lemon. I tried to carve this bear years ago, but I never finished him because this natural crack. And yeah, so now he just sits here.
You're a little bit grouchy, Dad.
Limes. Nope, left hand can't do it. Golly. Okay, he's got 2 points. 2 points for lemons, 3 points for limes. Shit. Not even close. Oi! Oh no, we need 2 more points. Yeah. That's pretty freaking good though. You got that. Did I just count super wrong then? Oh, I only counted 6. We win! Blow out the candles. Blow out the fire.
I'm like stumbling backward, and then one of the men to my side is speaking in Spanish very loudly at his wife, and his wife is like, ah! With the knife in her hand. And just like...
Is that too big for you?
No, that's perfect.
Okay. Because I was going to say we could.
It's not gonna get.
We could maybe try.
Now, it wasn't her birthday yesterday. Her birthday is actually on the 17th, and yesterday was not the 17th. I actually don't know what the date is even today. I'm terrible at that sort of thing. But everyone is gone, vacation or whatever else, around her birthday. So we decided to do it yesterday because everyone who's normally there could be there. Hey, it's all Reno stuff.
No metal or anything?
No metal, no, just wood. All right, thank you. So that was yesterday. Not her birthday, but celebrated her birthday. And, well, here on the channel, you know that we always celebrate my birthday all month long and her birthday all month long with a sale. So if you want to take advantage of the sale, that would be greatly appreciated. Oh, check it out, guys. Longtime viewers will know that I love the take it or leave it, and it's finally open again. There probably isn't much there that we can use for the camper, but maybe we'll have a look. We got 2 dump runs today. Actually 3 to do today. We got 2 regular, right? And then we're gonna demo the asbestos stuff and dump that as well. The reason why I didn't demo everything and take it with me is because they want to dump the asbestos stuff and the regular stuff separately, which makes sense. There isn't very much, but it's enough because it's something. Now I want to see if there's any ant activity still. I don't see any in there. You can see like they made their nest all up in this wall here. Let's see if there's any here. You can see here they've made a meal out of a lot of the wood, especially right here in the corner. There is no ants in there. Down here, maybe behind the insulation. Nope. Nope, nothing behind there.
I know you will all do your duty. I am proud to send you into battle.
Oh, there is a few. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. So, gotta get rid of all of this and then they'll likely be gone. I suspect when their home is taken away, they will move on, but they're probably behind this panel here. All right. All right, so they're not gone, but they've relocated to a smaller area, you know, just behind there probably compared to all of this. All right. Well, it's not a huge deal. It may seem like a big deal, but I'm not worried about that at all. Like that, I can easily repair that. But first things first, let's get rid of all this insulation here. Insulation on the roof, or ceiling, I guess, so that I can strip the roof as well. All right. Okay, that is all of the insulation more or less. Just got a couple of little pieces here and there that I will get out. It looks like with this style, I've seen where they have plywood on the outside and then the skin, then insulation, and then another skin on the inside. This is obviously not that. It's just framing, then wide bats of insulation that wrap everything. right? It goes underneath all of the different pieces of wood, behind all of the framing. So it's kind of hard to get it all. It also compromises the R value by being squished, but you can't expect too much out of a old camper like this anyway, or even a new one in my opinion. Right, like here, you can see that's one piece. This was all one piece all the way along. You can see it's squished behind there. I'm not sure what the R value would be, like maybe 5 or something, but whatever. I'm going to come back around and try to cut off as much as I can, so that when we put in the new stuff, we won't have it in the way or anything like that. So besides that, we got the floor. Now we got this line out on top of these tiles. Now I'm not sure if this is asbestos. It could be. I'm not sure what era it's from, but this almost certainly is, because these are probably original to the camper. And breaking that like that, that's how you can become exposed to the asbestos. Because it's like a binding agent almost. So anyway, I'm gonna keep on my respirator while I pull this out, and I hope that it comes out easy. I know a lot of people will just lay their new floor right on top, but I don't want to do that. And the reason I don't want to do that is just in case I might have to do that. But I want to check on the integrity of the deck. I'm hoping that it's not rotten, but if it is, then obviously we have to replace it. But it doesn't feel rotten, so fingers crossed. Ow. Ah, again, what the hell? Oh, that was easy. Nice. The part I was most worried about, there's no rot. That's so good. That is so good. Alright, so that's pretty much everything, I think. Could use a vacuum, obviously, so we'll leave that for now. Let's get this out of here. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, sweaty. Whew. Fresh air. Oh, I probably should have tied this up first. Okay, now that that's done and we can see any potential leaks coming down, we are going to spray the roof to hopefully get all of the whatever that stuff is called off.
Every single person you have ever feared, who made you wanna hide away and disappear, who laughed at your misfortune and called you weird, they're mostly just bags of water. The kid who broke your glasses in the 2nd grade, who took your lunch money in the playground shade, who made you feel helpless and so afraid, he's mostly just a bag of water. All the people on the street are just skin upon the meat, with a scaffolding of bone and sinew. It's a beautiful machine secrets locked within you. So when you wanna talk to the girl down the block and you're scared of feeling like a stalker, just remember that you both underneath your fancy clothes are only just bags of water. The girl who you took to the senior prom, who went to freshen up but then she took too long. The guy you found her kissing in the parking lot, they're mostly just bags of water. The driver in the semi in the passing lane, who's blocking up the traffic all the way to Spain. The cop who pulls you over when you drive like a saint, they're mostly just bags of water. You were only just a bag of water.
Last night, I thought I was on a roll. Whoa. Spraying it all off. Had flakes going everywhere, and I was like, yeah, this is easy. But some of this is not so easy, especially around these seams. It makes me want to give up, but I've already done half of 3 of them. This is the 4th, and then I got to do the other half. I've even been using some chemical persuasion here, but it's not doing much help. I need to loose it and then scrape it off, but it has like this tarry residue that I also have to get off, and then there's this thinner stuff, and I'm just like, I'm trying not to gouge it. It looks like it was put on with a corn broom, but it's being like held on with the hand of God. It's so frustrating. Tedious. There's gotta be a better way. I wonder if Billy Mays has a product. I wonder if he sold a product.
OxyClean Stain Fighter.
I bet you there's gonna be a lot of suggestions for other people who've done this, but it'll be too late by then. I'll already be done. This is gonna kill me. Guess what, guys? I got it off. Finally! It took forever. The last clip you saw, that was taken this morning, just before Ashley went to work. She's the one who filmed it. I was getting frustrated then. She just now called me and said that she's going to pick up some groceries before coming home from work. It's been a long day. I just now finished. I scraped for so long, getting so mad, till I was like, you know what, this kind of has like a tar-like consistency. It's probably roof tar. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, but then I was just like, you know what, let's see if some willy-dilly might help us get this off. So sprayed the crap out of it, let it sit for a while, took the chisel back to it, and it actually started to lift pretty easy. Still took a lot of effort, but it started to come off. So that was good. That made things go a little quicker. And now it's finally done. I was contemplating whether or not to even include this in the vlog or like end it on a cliffhanger. Did he or did he not get all that stuff off? I'm sure I would have gotten a lot of suggestions. I probably still will on how to get it off, which probably would be helpful, but next time. I'm probably never going to do that again. I was contemplating whether or not I should just tear off the whole roof. It's made out of tin and some galvanized steel, and just replacing it with aluminum. And I was like, if I'm going to do that, it's going to be one sheet aluminum so it doesn't rust. And then if it's one sheet, there's less seams to worry about sealing properly. Like these ones have all failed on the roof. Called around, no one could give me a big enough sheet except for one place, and they quoted me $700, and I was like, dang, $700, scrape forever, $700. I was like, you know what, this is a budget type project. As long as it's sealed up, I'll put in a little effort. The amount of time versus the $700, I think I'm still ahead, so hopefully I don't regret it. I even consulted my buddy Austin. Some of you follow him over on his channel, Austin Tischler. I'll put a link in the description in case you don't. He does a lot more with metal when it comes to construction, and so I was like, dude, what do you think? He sent me some links to some products to help seal this up, so we'll probably go that route and hope that it's good enough. I think it is. The roof is all there, except for some existing pinholes and a couple of gouges that I unfortunately put in the roof with the chisel, and then also an existing gouge that had already been repaired by the previous owners. But overall, I think we're still good. Well, now that that's done, we can move on to the next steps. Repairing all the rot, reframing, structuralizing it so that it doesn't twist or flop over, and maybe doing a new layout. We'll see what Ashley thinks and what she wants to do, since this is her trailer. If you'd like to follow along, there's going to be a playlist starting from the beginning, so you can watch everything and see how it turns out. Link in the description, as are all the other links, all the time. Now I just gotta take some brake cleaner, clean off all the Willie Dalton, and to be continued. I don't know how well you guys can see, but someone threw out a wasp nest. There's wasps flying all over there. Dang, there's so many. Do not want to go over there. Oh, they're coming close. Maybe I shouldn't do that again. Or maybe if I threw something heavy. This is my old subwoofer box. You can see they were all blown. That's why a couple vlogs back I got a new one. I doubt I can throw this though. It's probably too heavy. Oh yeah, that's way too heavy. No, didn't bother them. I couldn't throw it far enough. Dang. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. Thanks for watching.